Okay, now we're going to move into our conceptual understanding task. So once again, during the pose a problem, I've already talked about how I can equally partition my purple rod, and I've already looked at these relationships and these operations that are shown with my partitioning. So now I'm gonna layer my next step onto that. If I start with a purple rod and I assume that it's worth 1/2, then I can partition it equally into 2 reds. So each of these blocks is worth. So now we are giving this purple rod a value. My value of my purple rod is 1/2, and I'm charged to determine the value of my 2 reds. So I would encourage students, and through your questioning and through your monitoring, you can encourage students to actually build what the whole will be. So if my 1/2 of purple is out, my whole, or my 2/2 would be 2 purple rods, and building my whole with my reds, I'm going to have a total of 4 rods. So 1 red rod is going to have a value of 1/4 because it's 1 out of my 4 pieces. Once again, I'm going to have that conversation looking back here. What are these operational implications? Today, we're really focusing on that conceptual understanding of a unit fraction divided by a whole number. So with the class, I'm really going to stress I had my whole, or my total amount, which was 1/2. I divided that. I partitioned it into 2 equal parts, which means that each of my parts has a value of 1/4. Just like we did it for the red, I can also determine my white rods. So if my purple has a value of 1/2, we've already said that we can partition that purple rod into 4 white rods. So I'm going to build my whole again. My whole being 2 purple rods. And in order to build my whole with my white rods, I'm going to have a total of 8. So I have that 1/2 divided into 4 parts equals 1/8. The value of each of my parts is 1/8. So students can also show some of these other relationships. They can show addition, they can show multiplication, they can show subtraction, and it's going to be really powerful to be able to make those connections between them. And once again, we're really giving them that conceptual understanding for how to divide that unit fraction by a whole number.